Hello students, this is Srinivas sir, chemistry faculty. Today I would like to discuss electrochemical series topic. Topic name is electrochemical series. Actually, this electrochemical series was related with two lessons. Those are redox reactions and second lesson is electrochemistry. So electrochemical series was related with the two lessons, redox reactions and electrochemistry. So let me discuss what is the relation between these three electrochemical series and redox reactions electrochemistry chapter. So beta, first of all, we have to know the electrochemical series. What is meant by electrochemical series? Actually, the electrochemical series is the series, the arrangement of standard reduction potentials of elements from left to right, negative values to positive values, or the arrangement of standard reduction potentials of an elements from negative values to positive values in a series that is called as a electrochemical series. So first of all, we have to know the electrochemical series order of standard reduction potential values of an elements. So regarding that, I would like to give one code to remembering point of view this electrochemical series. Let me give the series. Lip BCS Maze Intel H CHOP F. So this is actually electrochemical series. But this is a code to remembering point of view the electrochemical series. How to remember this code actually? Remember, like I would like to give the line also. Here, lip BCS Maze Intel H CHOP F, like that you can remember. And abbreviations of all these elements. Coming to first one, Li, lithium, P, potassium, B, barium, C, calcium, S, sodium, natrium, M, magnesium, A, aluminium Al, Z, zinc, I, iron, Fe, right? And N, nickel, T, tin, stannum, L, lead, plumbum, Pb. This is H, She. She means standard hydrogen electrode. C, copper, Cu. H, Hg, hydroxyrum, mercury. A, Ag, argentinum, silver. Au, Rm, gold. Pt, platinum, and fluorine, F2. So these are the elements out there in the series. And what is the importance of this electrochemical series? This electrochemical series having many applications. So those applications are very, very important, need point of view, JEE mains, and as well as advanced level also. So let me discuss the applications of electrochemical series with related with the redox reactions as well as electrochemistry also. Coming to over here also, we can write like this: lithium, this having SRP of lithium is equal to minus 3.08 volts. And better, the element which having more negative SRP value that readily undergoes oxidation itself. The substance which readily undergoes oxidation itself means that can act as a strong reducing agent. So this is a strong reducing agent. Okay, then coming to right side, fluorine. So this fluorine has SRP of fluorine is equal to positive 2.87 volts. And also remember, the element which having highest positive SRP value that readily undergoes reduction itself. The substance which reduces itself can act as what beta here? Strong oxidizing agent. Strong oxidizing agent. Is it clear? And so this is one of application. It means, remember beta, first point is what? First application is what? The element which having highest negative SRP readily undergoes oxidation itself, so that act as a strong reducing agent. And right side, the element which having highest positive SRP that readily undergoes reduction itself, so act as strong oxidizing agent. It means lithium in the series having highest negative SRP, so that readily undergoes itself oxidation, so that act as a strong oxidizing reducing agent. It means fluorine having highest positive SRP, so that readily undergoes reduction itself, so that considered as strong oxidizing agent. And question given like, which of the following element? Let me give the question. Related questions also I would like to give now. Question given like, which of the following has or acts as strong oxidizing agent? Okay. So this is the question. So here options are given. First option given copper, second one given zinc, third one given silver, fourth one given lead, for example. So by using the series what I given on the screen, we have to get the SRP values of them first about these four options. After getting the SRP values of given options, we can easily get the answer. So among all these copper, zinc, silver, lead, which is there in right side of this series having highest positive SRP that readily undergoes reduction itself, that is only act as a strong oxidizing agent. So here copper position here and silver is there here, zinc here itself, lead here itself. among all these SRP values, SRP order, so lowest one is zinc, next one is lead, next position copper and silver. So among all these, silver has highest SRP value. The element which having highest SRP value, that is considered as a strong oxidizing agent. So answer is what beta here? Silver. So like this, by using the code what I given, we can easily get the answer. Coming to next question. Second application is chemical reactivity. So with respect to this electrochemical series, SRP values inversely proportional to chemical reactivity of elements. So actually left to right, if you see left to right, SRP values increases, discharge potential DP, discharge potential decreases. Later we will discuss the discharge potential. So coming to left to right, SRP increases. As I told, reactivity is inversely proportional to SRP. So based on this, here question given, among the followings, which has more chemical reactivity, Okay, coming to first option given, copper, second one given, zinc, third one given, AU, fourth one given, platinum. So we should recall once this code LIP BCS MAGE Intel HHOP-F. By that you will get clarity about the SRP values of options given. After getting the SRP values or order of these elements under the question given, easily you will get which having more chemical reactivity. So SRP order, first here zinc having low SRP, next one copper, next gold, and last platinum. Platinum having highest SRP among these elements. So as I told, reactivity is inversely proportional to SRP. So based on this fact, among zinc, copper, gold, and platinum, zinc having low SRP, so that having more chemical reactivity. Okay, this is the right answer. So B is the right answer. So this is second application of this electrochemical series. Coming to third application. Liberation of hydrogen gas. Liberation of hydrogen gas when treated with dilute acids. So this is third application. So this is dependent on SRP values of elements. Simply, here middle of this code, H is there. That H means what beta here? SHE. SHE means a standard hydrogen electrode. This standard hydrogen electrode value is 0.00 volts. Standard hydrogen electrode potential value is 0.00 volts. And simply remember about this application, liberation of hydrogen gas when treated with dilute acid. Simply, the element which having negative SRP, only liberate hydrogen gas when treated with the dilute acid. That's it. Simple one, isn't it? Once again, the element which having negative SRP only liberate the hydrogen gas when treated with the dilute acid. Let me discuss one example. For example, zinc when treated with the dilute H2SO4, it results what? So first of all, zinc able to replace the hydrogen present in H2SO4. That is also related with the chemical reactivity. Generally, zinc having low SRP value, negative SRP value, so that readily replace the hydrogen present in dilute acid. So it results zinc sulfate and H2 gas. And also remember SRP of this one, E0 of Zn plus 2 by Zn is equal to minus 0.76 volts. Zinc having negative SRP, that's why that readily replace the hydrogen present in dilute acid and liberate hydrogen gas. For example, if you see copper, when treated with the dilute acid, H2SO4 gives rise to CuSO4 plus hydrogen gas. Is it possible? No. This reaction will not be happen. What is the reason? Copper, if you see copper SRP, E0 of Cu plus 2, Cu is equal to plus 0.34 volts. So as I told, the element which having negative SRP only liberate the hydrogen gas when treated with the acid. Zinc having negative SRP, so that liberate hydrogen gas when treated with the dilute acid, but not copper, because of copper having positive SRP. That's it. Is it clear? Right. Then coming to next application. Coming to fourth application. So calculation of EEMF, electromotive force. EEMF means what beta? Electromotive force. How we calculate this EMF? What is the relation between calculation of EMF and electrochemical series? Let me discuss. Here actually, this electromotive force, EEMF, we can calculate by using this formula. EEMF of the cell is equal to E0 of cathode EC minus EA. So cathode SRP, standard reduction potential of cathode, minus standard reduction potential of anode. So by this formula, we will get the EMF value. And also remember, this EMF value, what we calculated, was decided whether the reaction will happen or not. The feasibility of the reaction, we can know by the calculation of this EMF. That is related with the thermodynamics. How related with the thermodynamics? So here del G is equal to minus NF E cell. Okay, then here if E cell is negative, therefore del G will be positive. Already negative is there, negative, negative, positive. Positive means that indicates non-spontaneous reaction. And if E cell is positive, then resultant del G, Gibbs free energy, will be negative. Gibbs free energy negative means that is a spontaneous reaction. So by the calculation of EMF, that we will find out whether the reaction happened or not. The feasibility of the reaction we can know by the calculation of this EMF. Let me discuss one question. Based on that question, you will get the clarity about the reaction, whether the reaction happened or not. Coming to question. Zinc sulfate solution can preserve in copper vessel. So this is the question that related with the EMF and also Gibbs free energy. So here, first of all, we have to write the reaction between these two. So zinc sulfate, based on the question given, reacts with the copper. Okay, then copper sulfate, if is the next one, copper sulfate react with the zinc. Which is possible, that we have to find out first. Actually, this is a relation with the redox reaction. This is one of redox reaction, that is a metal displacement redox reaction. Metal displacement redox reaction. So which metal displacement redox reaction is possible, that we have to find out first. That is only decide the zinc sulfate solution we can preserve in copper vessel or not. Coming to here, zinc sulfate solution, copper vessel. So by the calculation of EMF only, that is possible, whether the reaction possibility is there or not. So actually, E naught of Zn plus 2 by Zn is minus 0.76 volts. Okay, and E naught of Cu plus 2 by Cu, SRP of copper here, that is equal to positive plus 0.34 volts. Okay, then, so here, coming to first reaction. In the first reaction, for example, if reaction happened, then what will happen here? Products, metal displacement, if you see, copper sulfate plus zinc. Left side oxidation state of zinc is plus 2, right side its oxidation state 0. And left side copper oxidation state 0, but right side oxidation state of copper will be plus 2. It means this copper oxidized, isn't it? Zinc reduced, isn't it? It means SRP of copper, SRP of here zinc sulfate already we known. Then with respect to that one, first reaction, EMF is equal to SRP of cathode minus this one, SRP of cathode minus SRP of anode. Here with respect to this first reaction, which is cathode, which is anode. Generally remember, reduction will be happened at cathode, oxidation will be happened at anode. Is it clear? Then based on that fact, here SRP of this zinc we need to write first minus 0.76 volts minus, and SRP of oxidation here copper, that is plus 0.34 volts. Okay, then resultant EMF will be minus 1.10 volts. As I told beta here, EMF value is negative, then it cause to with respect to del G equal to minus NF E cell. This is negative. It means resultant del G will be positive. This positive means that is a non-spontaneous reaction. There is no feasibility of the reaction. This reaction will not be happening. That is the meaning of this one. Then coming to second reaction, here, if the second reaction happen, what is the product? CuSO4 react with the zinc, it results what? Zinc sulfate plus Cu. Then what will happen? Coming to oxidation state of copper, left side is plus 2 and right side 0. Left side zinc oxidation state 0, right side its oxidation state plus 2. Coming to copper. Copper here what happened? Reduced. Zinc what happened here? Oxidized. Then coming to EMF calculation, EMF is equal to cathode here what? Reduction will be happened at cathode. Na? That's why SRP of 0, this copper, that is plus 0.34 minus, and SRP of anode, that is minus 0.76 volts. Therefore, plus 1.10 volts will come. So that is EMF. So EMF of this reaction, what we calculated, is in positive. Positive means resultant del G. Del G is equal to negative. Del G negative indicates spontaneity of the reaction. It means this second reaction will be happened, but not first reaction. So based on this fact, we can say whether the zinc sulfate solution can preserve in copper vessel or not. Coming to this question. Question is, zinc sulfate solution can preserve in copper vessel? Yes or no? If the reaction happened between zinc sulfate solution and copper, then no is the right answer. Right? If there is no reaction will be happen between zinc sulfate solution and copper, then yes is the right answer. Because of what? If a zinc sulfate solution react with the copper vessel, then what happened after some time in the bowl, copper sulfate solution is only there, not zinc sulfate solution. Based on this fact, what is the right answer here? Yes or no? Based on what here? If the reaction will be happen between zinc sulfate solution and copper vessel, reaction will be happen, then no is the right answer. There is no reaction means yes is the right answer. So by this explanation, here there is no reaction between zinc sulfate solution and copper vessel with respect to this EMF calculation and the Gibbs free energy. There is no reaction means yes is the right answer. Yes. Because of there is no reaction between copper vessel and zinc sulfate solution means what? After some time also we can get same zinc sulfate solution in the copper vessel. It means yes, we can preserve the zinc sulfate solution in copper vessel. But also remember, next question, we cannot preserve the copper sulfate solution in zinc vessel. What is the reason? Reason only one thing. What is that? Feasibility of the reaction. If reaction takes place between solution and vessel, we cannot preserve the substance in the vessel. So copper sulfate easily react with the zinc because of what? Zinc having low SRP and also having more chemical reactivity that is able to displace the copper present in copper sulfate solution. That's why reaction will be happen between these two. So easily we can get a zinc sulfate and copper. That's why copper sulfate solution we cannot preserve in zinc vessel, but zinc sulfate solution we can preserve in copper vessel. So this is one of application of this electrochemical series, right? And one more important application is also there, that is related with the discharge potential. Let me discuss that one. So here, fifth application is electrolysis process. Electrolysis process. For example, if you see electrolysis of brine solution. So what is meant by this brine solution? Brine solution is nothing but a salt water. NaCl aqueous solution is also called as a brine solution. So here, first of all, reaction NaCl aqueous solution is only called as the brine solution. And this having two substances, solute and solvent, no? So if you see solute, that is NaCl, solvent H2O. So 2 moles we need to take the balancing equation. Therefore, 2 moles of NaCl and 2 moles of H2O. And also remember, electrolysis process implies 3 steps. One is ionization, second one is oxidation at anode, third one is reduction at cathode. Coming to first step of this electrolysis process is ionization. So ionization of NaCl. NaCl ionized as Na plus and Cl minus. Okay, then H2O is also ionized as H plus and OH minus. Then second step of this electrolysis process is oxidation at anode by anions. And in this ionization process, first step, 2 anions, 2 cations formed. Anions slowly moves towards to anode side. At that anode, anion undergoes oxidation. Cations which formed in the ionization process moves towards to cathode side. At that cathode, those cations undergoes reduction. That's it. Coming to anions. What is the complication here? Yes, complication is there. What is that complication? 2 anions are formed in the ionization process. One is Cl minus An, another one is OH minus An. But which undergoes oxidation at anode. It is impossible to oxidize both anions formed in the ionization process at anode. Among the anions formed in the ionization process, first step of the electrolysis process, only one undergoes oxidation at anode. That cleared by discharge theory. According to discharge theory, the ion which having low discharge potential is only undergoes discharge at electrode. In terms of anion, oxidation is only discharge at anode. In terms of cation, reduction is only discharge at cathode. That's it. So anions, regarding this, I would like to give one code to remembering point of view, that discharge potential values and related with the SRP also. Let me give that here. I, B, C, O, F, N, S. Just remember as IPCO fans. How here? IPCO, fans, like that you can remember. What are all these actually? This I means iodide, I minus anion, B means Br minus anion, C means Cl minus anion, or carboxylate ion also, C means. And O means OH minus hydroxyl ion, and F means F minus, N means NO3 minus, right? And S means SO4 minus 2 ions. All these are anions only. And remember simply here, left to right, SRP, left to right, SRP decreases, discharge potential will be increases, reverse. Okay, then as I told, according to discharge theory, among the ions which having low discharge potential, that only undergoes discharge at first at electrodes, not another one. So coming to here, ions which formed in the ionization process of NaCl aqueous solution, Cl minus anion and OH minus anion. And here among these two, which having low discharge potential. As I told, this code here, in this code, IPCO fans, Cl here, OH here. Among these two, which having low discharge potential, chlorine has low discharge potential when comparatively OH minus. So that Cl is only undergoes oxidation at anode. That's it, not OH minus. So that here simply this Cl minus undergoes oxidation at anode. Okay, then it results H2 gas liberated, Cl2 gas. 1 mole of Cl2 gas was liberated at anode, that's it. Okay, then this OH minus ion second, which having high discharge potential, won't undergoes oxidation at anode. Already oxidation happened by low discharge potential anion, that is Cl minus, isn't it? Then coming to reduction. And remember, cations which formed in the ionization process, which is the first step of electrolysis, slowly moves towards to cathode side. There, those cathodes undergoes reduction. Those cations undergoes reduction at cathode. So here also difficulty is there. What is the difficulty here also? Two types of cations are formed in this ionization process. One is Na plus, another one is H plus. And among these two, with respect to discharge potential, which undergoes discharge at first. So Na and H plus both are there. That we can find out by using this electrochemical series. This is the application of this electrochemical series. So Na plus and hydrogen. So Na plus position like this here itself, hydrogen position here itself. And left to right, SRP was increases, but not discharge potential. Discharge potential decreases. It means among hydrogen and sodium, which having low discharge potential. Hydrogen obviously. So this hydrogen which having low discharge potential is only undergoes a discharge at a cathode, because of this is cation, right? So this cation undergoes reduction at a cathode, by taking 2 electrons which came from anode. Here 2 electrons released, no beta, like this. Then it results hydrogen gas. It means simply at anode 1 mole of Cl2 gas was liberated. At cathode 1 mole of hydrogen gas was liberated. Sometimes question will raise about these volumes of gases liberated at electrode. Coming to first type of question related this application, electrolysis process. If NaCl aqueous solution undergoes electrolysis, the volume occupied by gases liberated at electrode at STP. What is that answer? 2 into 22.4 liters. At STP, 1 mole of gas occupied volume is 22.4 liters. As I told, this one electrolysis process of NaCl brine solution, there is no given information about number of moles. If number of moles information not given in the question means we have to take the 2 moles. That is only gives the balancing equation. So here question given like what here? Brine solution undergoes electrolysis process, then volume occupied by gases liberated at electrodes at STP. 2 into 22.4 liter is the right answer. Because of what? Brine solution 2 moles NaCl aqueous solution undergoes electrolysis process. At anode 1 mole of Cl2 gas liberated. At cathode 1 mole of H2 gas liberated. Total how many moles of gases are liberated at electrodes? Total electrodes 2 moles into 22.4 liters. That is only right answer. If question asked about only one electrode, question like, if brine solution undergoes electrolysis process, then volume occupied by gas liberated at anode is. Only anode asked means here Cl2 gas only liberated at anode, so 2 into 22.4 liters, only answer. If question asked about if NaCl aqueous solution, brine solution undergoes electrolysis process, then volume of gas liberated at cathode at STP is what? Say 22.4 liter. Here gas will be H2 gas. That's it. For example, if question given like if 1 mole of NaCl aqueous solution, 1 mole condition here, 1 mole of NaCl aqueous solution undergoes electrolysis process, then volume occupied by gases liberated at electrodes at STP. Simply answer is what? By taking 2 moles, 2 into 22.4 liters of gas liberated at electrodes means 1 mole means what? Simply answer is what? 22.4 liter is the right answer. So by this, we can get the volume of gases liberated at electrode by the electrolysis process. And also remember, this electrolysis process dependent on discharge potential values with respect to discharge theory. As I told, the anion or cation or simply ion which having low discharge potential, that only first discharge at electrode. That's it. Okay. So these are the applications are there about this electrochemical series. So remaining topic we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.